Can I begin by acknowledging the Ngunnawal peoples, the traditional owners of the land in which we're meeting today, and pay my respects to the elders, both past and present, but particularly pay my respects to their youth, because their youth will be our future leaders, our elders. They'll be our custodians of our stories, of our lore, of our histories, and it's very important that we do recognise our youth. And it's the youth, both in the Indigenous population and the non-Indigenous population, who are going to be taking our society forward. And so I wish to put forward that acknowledgement. And I also wish to thank everybody for coming along today and participating in the event as an Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander person, or an Aboriginal person with Torres Strait Islander relatives. I acknowledge your presence and wish you well into the future, and thank you for supporting a program like a Reconciliation Action Plan. I think it's important for everybody to have a Reconciliation Action Plan, and we're seeing that over 20% of big companies around Australia now have got Reconciliation Action Plans. It's to be able to demonstrate to the workforce, to people who utilise the service, that there is the respect for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people within the organisation. So it's developing a culture, and that's what's very important, because as the First Nations people, the first peoples of Australia, we hold a very special place in our society, and I guess there's a growing awareness of that, there's a growing acceptance of that, and this is a great way for the organisation to demonstrate that they're on board as well. I think it's a great move. It's something that we've talked about for a while. It's something that I know that the university has had through the Ngunnawal Centre, a long relationship with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people and with the community, but this is one way of formalising it, and it sends a very clear message to members of the council, to the public, that the university is on board. And I think what's important about Reconciliation Action Plans is that they're not just a board plan, they're not just the VC's plan, but they're a plan, a strategy that's owned by everybody within the organisation. And that's why it's important that we get everybody to come on board, because we look at those issues of respect, of recognition and of opportunity, and that affects all of us within the university community. I think it can only be seen as positive by any population group, but particularly with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, that they know that the university is a place that they can feel secure, and that they know that the university is able to maybe orientate their programs, their courses around the needs of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, but still maintaining our academic integrity, but making sure that maybe in the way the programs are delivered, they're done in a way that's far more acceptable. But you know, the Reconciliation Action Plan is great for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, but it's also good for the community, and that's the important bit about them, is that therefore the whole of the university community to get behind, and for the public to know, and you know, it's a pretty big and interesting you know, attraction for people to know that they can come into an organisation and get some very credible information about the local, in our case, the Ngunnawal peoples, the local peoples of this region, and all the other traditional owner groups that reside close to and around the city of Canberra. Reconciliation is about awareness raising, it's about paying the respect, and it's about creating opportunities for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people to gain equality in our society. And that equality comes through you know, good health, through education, through employment, and the pathways are all interrelated between employment, education and good health. And so, you know, this is a great way to start that process, and it's a great way, you know, for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people to know that you know, their and our life situation is being recognised, and it's I think a very positive step. The biggest impact has to be with those people from the stolen generations, those Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are forcibly removed from their communities, from their culture, from their language group, from their families, and put into institutions. Those people for decades now have lost contact, or have not been able to maintain the full contact that we generally accept in society as important in relation to family and knowing who we are. And because of the policies of the past, it's had a fairly significant detrimental impact on both the physical and mental health and well-being of many Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. So that's the first step. Those people have had a fairly, I think, important step in their healing process, and that's the first step of acknowledgement, and the apology has done that. Universities have a very, very significant role as influencers of history, influences of policy into the future. We have a cohort of young people that come through, people who can be told the true and accurate story of our history, and they will then become advocates for change. And it's very important. Our youth are our future, and that's where we have to invest in that. Universities, and particularly our university, University of Canberra, have a very significant role to play, both with domestic students and international students in this process. And it's incumbent on all faculty to get behind this process and to be able to understand and work out how and what role they can play in being able to progress the life situation of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people.